Hey, what's going on YouTube channel? Stars down there again. Go hard, go home. Today on this video, I'm gonna be doing just a little quick motivational type thing. But this is about like groups of people, that, saying where you fit at in the groups, and how and knowing about that and how that's gonna help you in life. Okay. So before I get into that real quick, like because we ain't gonna try to be no more than about 10 to 15 minutes right here. Y'all hit that subscribe button for me. Y'all know I don't do the cash apps. I don't do the doggone Patreon. No donate to me, none of that junk. I don't want your money. I just want subscribers. So y'all hit the subscribe button for me, and I see those subscribers going up, and that's what's gonna keep me going. So here we go. All right, I want to talk today about something that my grandmother told me. She said all the time. Okay, we would be back there. My grandmother and them lived in the country, so not when I say the country, I mean like we lived like they lived on a dirt road, and like in a trailer, and like it was a long way to go to Walmart. Let me just put it that way. Walmart was at least 30, 40 minutes away in any direction. Maybe, yeah, 30, 40 minutes away in any direction. So that just go show you how far in the country I was. All right. But grandmama used to always say, birds with feather flock together. Okay. Birds with feather flock together. When I was young, I really didn't, I heard it, but it didn't really take till it took me getting older and seeing people and how people fit into groups and in society to really understand what that meant. Okay. The funny thing about people is most of them want to be part of a certain group, but they're standing in another group. And you got to start understanding that first before you can move to the other group. Move to any other group that you want to be in. Okay? People, unlike most animals, have a kind of a choice where they want to be in society. If you adopt a certain traits and certain characteristics of certain groups, you can fit into that group because that's their feather. Uh, Rich people don't hang out with poor people. Cheerleaders don't hang out with geeks. Jocks don't hang out with people that do science papers. I mean, like birds of a feather. It's really kind of that. So the main thing the person needs to first understand is what feather are you wearing? Well, how can I figure that out? You could do some self reflection, or you can do this. Take the 5 people that you hang around the most and look at what the hell they got. When you look at what they got and you turn around and you look at what you got, it's gonna look similar because y'all group, that's what you in. If the people around you don't what they got and what they got going on don't look like what you got going on, you either in the wrong group or you don't know where you're at. If you're thinking of being something different and everything around you is the same as what you don't want to be, that's a problem. It's a problem. Birds with feather are always gonna flock together. Take the people that you're around the most and look at them. And whatever they got, whatever their lifestyle is, if that's not what you want to live, you're gonna have to find the traits and characteristics of the group of people that you want to be with, and you're gonna have to adopt that. Okay. Say for example, it could work and it works across the whole spectrum. This ain't just relationships and dating. This is friendships. This is your job. If you decide that you want to be the boss or the manager on your job, you're gonna have to adopt the traits of the managers. You can't act like the workers. Because if you don't adopt those traits, you're not going to be able to get into that position because you can't get into that group of people because you're not wearing their feather. You're not wearing that feather. That's the easiest way I can break it down and explain it. You know what I'm saying? Just saying like wearing their feather. Birds with feather flock together. Whatever part of a group or whatever you want to be in, you have to start looking like that. You know what I'm saying? Just take for example, you can have people that like a certain genre of music. All those people can be of different races. But if they like a certain genre of music, they probably dress a certain type of way. Like a lot of people that like country music like stuff like cowboy boots and big Stetsons and stuff like that too. But that's the feather of that group. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something I want to put out there for people to kind of ponder, for them to think about in their everyday life. Birds with feathers flock together. You can start seeing it with other groups, and it even start to help you to keep away from some shit. Because you can already see what something's gonna be just off of looking at it. But don't judge the book by its cover. You don't have to. You don't. But most books, if you pick them up and start reading them, you find out that what's on that cover is what the hell that book is about. Especially whatever was on the back of that book. Because on most of them, they got the back of the book. That's a doggone synopsis of what is in the thing. So what's on that cover, it's going to tell you about something what's in that book. And that's even in real life. So that's been my advice to people today. You know, birds with feather flock together. You want to know where you at? Take a look at what kind of feathering you got on. Look at your group. Look at your circle. If you ain't got no money, your friends ain't got none either. And if you get some, you're gonna wind up getting some other friends because you ain't gonna be able to be around those. All this stuff works in circles, guys. That's how that works, folks. Birds with feathers gonna flock together. So if you deciding on yourself that you want to be in a different group of people, you need to find out the traits, characteristics of that group. You need to start fitting that. People can move around social groups and around groups in life as they want to, but the first thing you have to realize is that those groups exist. And then you have to realize where you fit at in those groups. And you can change that because people can change. That's the thing about it. Like, as far as the animal kingdom, whoever's at the top of the feeding chain is at the top of the feeding chain. But with people, it's kind of different. People can change that because we got things like money and stuff like that, and we don't really use brute force and stuff like that to be in charge. You know, so people can change that, but it's all just based on what they want to do. But the step that people are gonna have to remember, the thing that people are gonna have to remember is that birds of a feather flock together. So wherever you at right now, that's your flock. And you choosing to be part of that flock. Thing is, what you gonna do about it? You already know the first thing, birds with feathers flock together. So now that you know that, move to step 2. Take those first 5 people and be like, hey, look, is this where I want to be at? If the answer is no, you already know what you got to do to change. I remember like one thing, and I'm going to say this and I'm out of here. One thing I used to remember in the Army, there was people that wanted to get promoted. They wanted a higher rank, but they didn't want to take on the characteristics of the higher ranking persons. They didn't want to do those things they had to do to go to those levels. And I think that's why a lot of people stay at some of the bottom levels of life now, knowing they don't have to be there. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about this one. Drop the comments and we'll talk about it more. But birds of a feather always flock together, y'all. That's how it is. So it's been Taurus Down to Go Hard to Go Home. Y'all hit the like, y'all hit the subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this one. And I'm out of here on that. Peace.